Hello, friends. Welcome to this episode of Probing Eye. I'm your host, Prabjot Singh. And today we are going to talk about something you all have been talking about. I mean, Punjab elections. And I have been getting calls from friends, from our viewers, from our followers, from all over, from US, from Canada, from New Zealand, from Australia, from India, from Chandigarh, from Punjab, and everywhere. They all are asking me one thing: who will form the next government in Punjab? Who will be the new Chief Minister of Punjab? And who will win? Will there be one party government, or will there be coalition government in Punjab, or will it be coalition of coalitions in Punjab? So your guess is as good as mine. Nobody knows what is in store for Punjab politics. Everything will be known on 10th of March. You know, the day the votes are counted. We are all waiting for the day. And elections, more or less, are the same as we were when we were in schools. We used to have tension and pressure on the eve of exams, annual exams. And they normally used to be held in March, first half of March. Exams, and then you are under pressure. Today's mathematics, today's English, today's social studies, and you go prepared, and at night you just woke up. Oh, that chapter I haven't done, revised. There may be a question from that chapter. So that sort of tension used to be there. And same tensions, same pressures, same nightmares, candidates and political parties must have had on eve of elections. But now those tensions are gone, because voting was done on 20th of February. And like going to an examination center, so voters of Punjab went to 24,400 polling stations where they cast their votes for 1,304 candidates. And I can tell you with certainty the result today: only 117 candidates will win. Rest all will fail. So one result I've told you, you can share it without quoting me or by quoting me. Only 117 will win. And out of 117 will be the new Punjab Chief Minister. Whether it is Bhagwant Mann of AAP, or Balbir Singh Rajewal of Kisan Morcha, or Sukhbir Singh Badal of Shiromani Akali Dal, or Charanjit Singh Channi of Congress, or anybody else. So your guess, I think your question will be answered by afternoon of 10th of March. And this was one election. Every election is unique. It's different from previous elections. Nothing is same in what happened in 2017 and what's going to happen in 2022, because each election there are a number of new candidates, number of new issues, number of new developments, circumstances. So all they contribute in making every election a different election. And this time there are lots of new things which happened. There are lots of newcomers. Newcomers doesn't mean that they are youngsters or 25, 30, 35-year-olds. No, Balbir Singh Rajewal, the BKU president and who is heading Samyukt Samaj Morcha, he is in his 80s. He's contesting elections for the first time. And also the oldest person of Punjab politics. Normally people call him Bohod of Punjab politics, Prakash Singh Badal. He's 94 and he's contesting from his home constituency, Lambi. And not only he, at 94 he's contesting, his son Sukhbir Singh Badal, who also is a chief ministerial candidate from Shiromani Akali Dal, he's contesting. And then Mr. Badal, Prakash Singh Badal's son-in-law, Adesh Pratap Singh Kairo, he is also contesting on Shiromani Akali Dal ticket from Patti. So then Sukhbir's wife, Harsimrat Kaur Badal, she is an MP. She sits in Lok Sabha. Her brother, Bikramjit Singh Majithia, and her Babi, Guneev Kaur, they are both contesting. This is the only couple who are contesting in this election. Majithia is facing Punjab Pradesh Congress Committee Chief Navjot Sidhu in Amritsar East, and Guneev Kaur she is contesting from the traditional constituency of her husband, Majithia. Not only that, there are brothers in this contest this time, and their fate will be known on 10th of March. They are Bajwa brothers. Pratap Bajwa of Congress is contesting from Kadia. He is at present member of Rajya Sabha. His brother, younger brother, who didn't get Congress ticket from Batala, he joined BJP and he is contesting from Batala on BJP ticket against Congress candidate Ashwini Sekhri. So this is two brothers, two different constituencies, two different political parties. Then there are a number of pairs, father and son pairs. As I told you, Prakash Singh Badal and Sukhbir Singh Badal of Shromani Akali Dal. Then Jathedar Tota Singh and his son Barjinder Singh Brad or Makhan Brad, they are contesting. Then Prem Singh Chandu Madra and his son Harinder Pal Singh Chandu Madra, they are contesting. And then who doesn't know Simranjit Singh Mann, the man and his party has always been hawking newspaper headlines of Shromani Akali Dal Amritsar. Mr. Simranjit Singh Mann and his son Iman Singh Mann, both are contesting, and they are representing a party which hopes to get into Punjab Vidhan Sabha for the first time. Let's see what luck has in store for them. And then in this election, as I said, there were 1,304 candidates representing 11 political parties and 3 alliances. So never before 3 alliances were in fray in Punjab elections. So this time that participation of political parties has increased and number of new candidates, women candidates number is not that encouraging. It's even not, it didn't touch even 100 mark. Out of 1,304, about 90 candidates are women candidates. So that's one issue where political parties and people of Punjab have to, I think again and do something to give women more representation. Now, when you go to an examination center, you are given a question paper and an answer sheet, and you write down your answers, and then those answer sheets are taken away by the invigilators or the supervisors. Similarly, in elections, you go to a polling station, you are given a slip, you go identify yourself, and then you are allowed to press the button of an EVM, electronic voting machine, to cast your vote. And then that vote is recorded in the machine and you come out. And then where did your vote go and who benefits from that vote is known only when the EVMs are opened on the day of the counting of votes. Like when you take the exam in schools, so you take the exams in first half of March, and results normally used to come on 31st of March every year. 31st of March, there used to be a lot of festivities and most of the candidates would succeed. And only 2-3% who were unsuccessful or who couldn't clear the exams and they have to sit back in the same class, they were very few, and only those were the people who would get disappointed with the results. But in these elections, only those few who succeed, as I said, only 117 will win, the rest all will be unsuccessful. So that's a huge difference between exams and elections. And now it's not only father and son, husband and wife, and brother. There are a number of new factors that have been thrown up in this election. Though the Election Commission tries to make elections as fair and as free and fair as possible, but then there are objections by candidates and political parties. They raise objections, they raise issues and lodge complaints with the Election Commission. But luckily this time there were no serious complaints. Though oversee the process of Election Commission deploys paramilitary forces so that the local police may have vested interest. So instead of depending only upon local police, they call in paramilitary forces from other parts of India to supervise the conduct of peaceful and fair elections. So that's one issue. And also, not only at the time of voting, even at the counting centers, paramilitary forces are deployed in strength along with the state police force. Idea is to make elections visibly free and fair, though the influence cannot be ruled out. And though this time there were not many objections to use of electronic voting machines, some people still suspect the machines can be monitored, or they can be hacked, or they can be manipulated. But this time there were not many objections. And objections may be there when finally results come out on March 10. People may think, I may have got more votes, but my votes have been somehow, with the use of technology or by hacking, been transferred to accounts of other candidates. No, Election Commission says, no, this is not possible. But then how you substantiate, how you strengthen your saying, no, there's no hacking possible, because in the present day, information technology, when technology is so advanced, anything can happen. But since electronic voting machines have stood the test of the time, they have been there for more than 30 years now, and nowhere, anywhere in the past, at no occasion, they were actually challenged in a manner that any election result was set aside because of use of electronic voting machines. So let's be fair. Let's hope that this time also, when the results come out on 10th of March, candidates and political parties will abide by the results that voters have given. Let's hope so. This trust in the system is maintained, and Punjab gets a new government which works for people and keeps up its promises and takes Punjab, which is now tottering on brink of a financial disaster and also facing a serious issue of exodus of its youth. Youth are moving away from Punjab, so it's a big problem of brain and brown drain from the state, because youth don't foresee any future, because there are no jobs. The agriculture is becoming unremunerative. So new government has a lot of challenges before them, and hope so they will meet those challenges. So let's hope 10th of March ushers in a new era in Punjab. Thank you very much.